Welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. So let's make a flower wreath tonight, and let's make a brand new center. Let's make a center that's very unique and very different, and it's really easy to do. So let's get started. Okay, so today we're going to make a flower wreath, and we are going to make a really unique center. So we're going to get started on this, and we're going to start with the petals of the wreath first. I'm using this gray. It is a stripe mesh, and honestly, guys, you don't have to use the same colors I'm using. You can use whatever you want. I will leave links below. After I make this video, I'm gonna see where I can find it, whether it's at Trendy Tree, Mel's Crafty Mojo, or the Reshop. I have links for all of those great places to purchase your mesh online. I really think that this is a really good product that they offer, so make sure to check out those links below. Whenever you click on one of those links, it does give me a little bit of an affiliate. It gives me a little bit back from you purchasing. It doesn't cost you any more. It doesn't cost you anything, but I make you videos here on YouTube. You don't have to pay to watch the videos here. And so that's just a way, if you're ordering your supplies, click those links for me. And if you're ordering through those vendors, because it does help my channel and helps my family, and it helps me bring projects to you guys because I have to buy this stuff. So let's start with this. This is actually a 10.5-inch mesh. So what we want to do is we want to have a perfect square, or close to as perfect. So I'm going to get my wood burner out. When I got this out, I wasn't really sure. If you look at this, it looks as if there's some jute in this mesh, but there isn't. And so I was able to use the wood burner. I know the gray on gray, it's kind of hard to see. I have a glass cutting board here. You can get these on Amazon in my Amazon storefront. And then this cutting mat you can get at the Reshop, but I also have them in my Amazon storefront from Fiskars. So first of all, we're going to get our wood burner here, and you guys are going to laugh at me, but I just use a little, okay. This is telling my age here. My husband and I will be celebrating 30 years of marriage, okay, this year. And these were the pots and pans that we got when we got married. And so I just set my wood burner in this pot. So that pot is 30 years old. And you know what? It still works, and we're going to use it. So we're going to cut this at about 10.5 inches. I'm going to go in between the 10 and the 11-inch mark here on my mat. And I'm going to cut this full roll because I'm not sure how many I'm going to use. But again, by the end of the video, I'll tell you how many you need to cut. So always watch to the end. So cut your mesh here. We are going to get another color of mesh out as well, and I'll show you that too. Okay, so the next step of our wreath making here is we're going to take a 10-inch wreath form here. This has got 4 bars, and it has 5 sections. We're going to take this, and we are just going to take some plastic canvas mesh. You can get this online as well as your local store where the yarn and embroidery section is. I'm simply going to cut this out, and then I'm going to attach it to the inside of this frame with small zip ties. So that's the next. Okay, so now that I have my wreath frame all ready and set to go, I'm going to grab my zip ties over here. And these I get from Amazon. They're just happen to be my favorite. You get like 1,000 for like $25, and they are just thinner, and they're really easy on my hands, which is a plus if you make wreaths or any type of crafts. So you're going to take your piece of mesh, okay, and we're going to do finish side up, finish side down. I'm going to turn it at an angle, and we are just going to roll, okay? You're going to roll both sides at the same time until you meet in the middle, okay? Like that, and then you're going to bring them together like so. And then we're going to lay it on top of the wreath form. So we will do that again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here where I have a cross bracket on the second wire or second bar. And I'm just going to pull that real good. And what I like to do, oops, sorry about that. That was a little loud. I like to start off with my brackets and then come in between. What I think we'll do is end up putting 2 petals in between. So I'm going to go do each of the brackets, and then we'll go back and we'll add 2 petals and see if that's enough. But that's just like what I like to do. So again, we're going to just start rolling because this mesh has some structure to it. And so we're just going to roll it till we meet in the middle. You don't want to roll too fast. You want to be pretty even. And then You grab it and you're going to bring it together and just flip it over. Put it on your bracket here. This is just like a good, anytime you're making a flower wreath, I feel like this is a good practice, because then that way, what if you have a wreath that doesn't have 5 brackets? Maybe you're doing a 12-inch or 14-inch or 16-inch. This way you can start really even and just fill in with the same amount of petals in between on each side. I just feel like this is a good way to do it. Okay, so we're back and I have all of them. I know it doesn't look like much because I'm gray on gray here. So what we'll do is we will start where one of these are on the brackets, and just to the right of that, I have a petal already made. So let's see, I think 2 petals is gonna be just enough. Yeah, that'll be pretty. I like this mesh. It's a little bit more structured than your normal deco mesh because it has the stripes in it. And it's just really going to be a nice, it's going to last longer than your typical mesh, in my opinion. So again, let's do another one here. And if you want, you can start with one side and then go and do the other side and make sure that you get a more symmetrical look of your petal. It's really kind of up to you, and bend it over and put it on here. Whoops, come on, Julie. I don't know why I'm not getting that. Okay, there we go. All right, so, yep, 2 petals in between. So the first layer of this wreath, let's just kind of move our petals, is going to have 15 in all. So 2 in between, which is 10, and 1 on the bracket. So 15 petals, which is pretty standard for these wreaths. Let's see how big this wreath is going to be. This wreath is going to come out to about 24 inches in diameter, so it'll be a nice wreath. So I'm going to finish this up and we'll come back and do the next step. Okay, so now I'm going to get out this navy blue fabric mesh, and this is only 10 inches wide, so we're just going to cut these at 10. And this I can use my wood burner with, so I'm just going to cut them really easily here. And why do we use the wood burner? We use it because it minimizes the fraying. Does it take away the fraying all completely? No, it does not. But it does minimize it. So if you're in like an indoor space like I am, it's probably a good idea to wear a mask too. So I'm going to cut, probably about 20 of these, and we'll come back and we'll make some more petals. Okay, so for our second... For our second layer of petals, I'm like fighting mesh that loves to stick together. It's just one of those issues that you have with all this, but that's okay. We'll make it work. All right. So I'm going to take my blue mesh here, and what we're going to do is basically do the same petal, but we're going to double them up. All right. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and make the same petal. We're going to just like roll it in. If you want to gather it, go right ahead. I'm just trying to keep it pretty connected. I'm going to put it in my one hand there, and then I'm going to roll this one. All right, and so I'm going to take them and I'm going to stack them. All right, so we're going to stack them like this. All right, and then we're going to bring them up. All right, we're going to take a zip tie here, and we're going to go on bar 3. All right, so 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to put it right here. All right, put 1. All right, so this is going to kind of come out like so. I have another one over here that I already have made. So let's see, if I put that one right here, it's really going to start to fill all that in. So in each one of these, I'm going to put a double petal, okay? And it's going to make it really nice and full. And I'm going to fill this in. So you're going to need basically a whole roll just for that second, because we're going to make it nice and full with all these little petals. So go around, fill in each spot here in between on bar 3. That's going to be 15 spots, so you need 30 cuts of this. And then we're going to come through and we're going to add one more layer, and then we'll make the center for it. All right, so today we're going to learn something different. My friend Jennifer from Canvas Science Designs came on my channel in July. I believe it, yeah, July, when I was moving, and helped me out and made you a video. I'm going to link her video down in the description box. But she showed us this really cool how to foil paint, basically, and how to transfer this foil image onto other surfaces. And I ended up purchasing this stuff last July. That's how long I've had this stuff. And it is by Artsyville Embellishments, or I might have that wrong, but I will have that all linked down below where you can purchase the supplies to do this. But I thought I'm going to give this a try for a flower center. So we're going to use the foil adhesive that you need to make this work. I ended up getting, this was a, I'm trying to find my stuff here. This was a sample roll, and it had all these really pretty samples here. And if you turn it over, I think like this one I thought was really pretty too, like a really pretty rose foil. But I got all these different things, and I thought I have some mesh that'll really go really nicely. That's really pretty if you like that. Is that cheetah print? I'm not sure. But let's get started. I'm going to put this to the side here. We're going to open up our little container here, and we're going to grab a foam brush. And basically what we're going to do is we are going to put on a thin layer of this paint, or not paint, but glue. So let me get this all taken off. Hold on. Okay, so I don't want to waste the glue that's on the top there, so I'm just going to get it. So you're just going to do a thin coat all over this round here. And I know this is the normal side to do one, but I'm going to flip it over because number one, I like to be different. And number two, I kind of think it'll be easier to put this adhesive on once it's on a more level surface than going down. And since this is the first time I'm trying this, that's just the way I'm going to do it. So it smells a little bit like Elmer's glue too. So you're going to put a nice thin coat, and then you're going to let this sit about 60 minutes. So I'm going to do this. I know you really can't see it here. I don't think you can, but oops, I already got it on my mat. I got this mat from the Wreath shop. I will leave the link for it. I really like it. And I think that you guys will like not having the big white square in the middle. So I kind of like that too. Anyways, I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm just going to set this to the side and make sure you get the sides, because we're going to wrap that foil all the way around. Okay, so this has sat for an hour, and it's a little tacky. It's not going to come off on my fingers. I'm going to take the piece of foil that I chose for this particular wreath. I think that's really pretty, and I think it'll be really nice. It's kind of like a floral print. So you're just going to kind of like put this up and around. You want to make sure that it has enough to go down on the sides here. Oops, wait a minute. I've got two different pieces. We don't want that. Uh-oh. Look, there was this piece and I didn't see it. How cute is that? Okay, we're not using that piece. We're using this. So let's try this again. So my mistake was I wasn't sure, and this was the multi-pack. So I want to make sure, because this is going to stick. Once you lay that down, it's going to stick. Hold on. Oh my. It's really going to stick. Let's try that one more time. Okay. You know what? I have another piece. Hold on. So let's see. Let's try this one more time, because this is a little tricky. I'm going to try to make sure. Actually, let's kind of go like this. Let's kind of go. Because once this touches, we're going to lay it. And I'm going to just smooth it out. As best I can. I'm going to try to smooth this out. Okay, this isn't going to be perfect, but what do I say about perfection and crafting? It's not a good combination because you're going to mess up. And this is something new for me that I'm trying, and I'm not doing it on a flat surface, but I still think this is going to be really pretty. So I'm just going to do this. All right. If it has some wrinkles in it, it'll be part of its charm, right? So we're just going to really make sure it's on our flower center here. All right, so the next step, all right, so this is all on. The next step we're gonna do is we're going to take a toothbrush, of all things. My friend Jennifer used a toothbrush, and you can use a toothbrush, you can use like a, oh, what do you call it? A little scrub brush, but I don't have those, so I got this out, my little scrub daddy. And I'm just going to go to town on this, all right? So that the transfer, we're gonna pull this off, and that the transfer will go onto our wreath center here. And you can see it's starting to lift up. So yeah, I would probably skip the toothbrush and go with like a scrub daddy, or, you know, you can get these at the Dollar Tree. But let me show you. Can you see how that is lifting up, and you can kind of see the clear plastic? That's what we want. All right, so when you can see that, you can kind of see it kind of like let loose too of the actual transfer. Let me do the sides here. So just do this, and you'll be able to see the difference. You'll be able to see it. Let's see it come apart here. And when you bring it up, it's stuck to the bottom here. There we go. Let's just pull it gently. All right. There's a few spots that I just want to make sure we get it out. Oh, I think this is going to be pretty. Ooh, that is beautiful. That is not perfect, but you know what? I like it. I think it's really, really pretty. It has a very smooth finish. And yes, you can see some of my imperfections. As you can see, I didn't get all the film off. But you know what? With some practice, I think I could get better at this. And it's a, you know, a concave shape, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. So let's prep this really quick for, so we can put it on our wreath. And you're going to take 2 floral pens here, and I'm going to clip them here to make them smaller. That's why I love these. They work tremendously. You're going to take a piece of wire or even a pipe cleaner. So I'm going to grab one out of my tray here. I only need one. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to get my glue gun. And we're going to put some glue on this so that it'll stick. I probably should put these in before I put the glue in, Julie. That wasn't smart. See, guys, sometimes I just don't think. And I put the glue in before. So what we're going to do, as you can tell, I've done this before. And I've gotten glue on my scissors. So we're going to do that. Okay. So that's not coming through. Then I'm going to take a small piece of felt here, put some more glue on it. Again, don't burn yourself. I need to put more glue in my thing. Okay, put it down. And then I top it off with these T-pens. They're for quilting, I guess, but I like to use them on stuff like this too. And it's going in with that glue. And we'll let this set up and it will be ready for us to add to our wreath here in a moment. Okay, so the star of the show for this wreath is really going to be the center. So now we need to figure out what we need to do. We need one more center layer of petals. I'm going to use this kind of, it's really kind of a grayish blue, which will be really pretty. We have our center here. Isn't that really pretty? I think that's going to be beautiful. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our mesh and let's first make our petal, which what we're going to do is something a little different. We are going to make a triangle. You're going to like make the, let's see, let's do this side finish, this side finish. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the kind of like the daisy petal. All right, but we're going to flip this over. What we're going to do, I'm going to flip it over so that the nice side is here. Okay. I don't know. There we go. And we are going to, I'm going to roll over. Okay. We're just going to start rolling. Kind of like what we did until we meet to a point. I'm going to put one side over and then I'm just going to roll. We're just wanting kind of like a pointy petal here. That's it. All right. So that's what we're going to do. That's all we're going to do. So I wanted to kind of make it a little bit darker because when you fold it over, then the richness of the petals come through. Now we want it to be about right there. So I'm going to add my zip tie here. And I'm hoping that I think we could get away with about a 10 of these. We'll see here. I'm going to put one right here. Again, they don't have to be exact. All right. As you can see, it kind of goes over. All right. Put another zip tie in right beside that one. As you go. It'll just be easier. Let me make this petal again. I'm going to, this loves to stick together, right? So I'm going to flip it over again. I'm going to start rolling here. Just come in, make that little pointy petal and put it right there. Just keep doing this until you fill it up, and we should be able to use, I'm thinking, one roll of this and one roll of that, and it should be good. So we're going to just keep going until we have this all full, and then we're going to add our center. Okay, so I was able to put 11 petals through here. I kept it pretty tight. As you can see, this does not look pretty. It's not perfect. Okay, we don't need it to be perfect. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to take our center that we made. We're going to take our wires here, and you're just going to find a spot. You're probably going to have to dig out a piece where the mesh is and put it through. And then you're just going to gently bring this down to make it look the way we want it. So I like it right there. So I'm going to just tie it off in the back. Make that as tight as I can. Cut off my pieces. And then I'm just going to run them into the back here. Now what I did was I cut out a piece of felt, and I'm just simply going to poke holes in this. I don't know if I have scissors that have a really pointy end. Okay, and I just kind of poke holes through here. You're going to hang your wreath from the wire frame, and we just put these on with little zip ties, and we're just trying to make the back look a little bit nicer. So I'm just going to take my zip ties. I'm going to put them through here. So you put them on. You cut off the piece, and then you run the zip tie to the back. So I'm going to do that, and then we will wrap this. Well, I think this turned out beautifully. I love the look of this. It's kind of like a winter ice type of flower wreath. I love the center. There's so many choices that you can pick from. I will leave links on how to purchase the products for the foil in the description box below. Check my links on where to get all the mesh and the wire wreath frame, and check out my Amazon storefront. So if you made it this far, in the comments, would you please leave some sort of a flower, because I'm waiting for spring here in Michigan. It's going to be like 7 degrees tomorrow, and I'm like so cold. So leave me a flower in the description, in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see next, and be here next Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you in Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.